Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host Dr. Amber Hugh and I'm sorry, I've just had some coconut. One of the great accomplishments of my life is that I know how to access a coconut. I know how to get the coconut water out. I know how to access the coconut without actually harming myself. And for me, that's a big thing. But because I have been eating coconut, I may sound a little bit croaky, so please forgive me for that. I've been thinking about so many things recently, and as usual, I'd like to chat with you about them. So it's funny because I've been thinking about relationships. I've read some interesting articles and I've seen a few interesting things just happening. The other day, I met the most adorable girl with the most adorable poodle. Oh my gosh. It was so heartwarming. She was so lovely. We had a chat. It was so great. It was just fantastic. And it really left me feeling uplifted, especially because I got to cuddle the little poodle. She was so cute. Now, the thing is that it's funny, isn't it? Because we can have these moments which are conducive to well-being. But then we also have these other moments, which as it turns out, are called parasocial relationships, where we think we know someone because maybe they're a celeb. For example, at the moment, Taylor Swift is just ecstatically happy. And it's so lovely seeing that. And I think for a lot of us, we feel as if we know her, right? Because she shares things in her songs and she's very eloquent and she just seems really nice. And so you listen to her in interviews and it's so lovely because she's so in love and, her fiance is just so in love with her and it's just so beautiful. It really is heartwarming. So I love that. But it's interesting because, of course, I don't know her, but I feel as if I know her. Especially, I can actually remember when her first song came out and I really liked it. And I kind of started sort of thinking, oh, hey, I like this person. So it's so interesting, isn't it? And then I saw an interview with a chap from Friends and he was saying that they're replaying it on some channel or whatever. So a younger audience is watching it and then, obviously that was a show from years ago and it's becoming popular again and people feel as if, they know the characters. And then he saw these kids and they were following him in a store and they were like, why are you so old? And it's just so funny. But it's these, these programs, it's any adaptation, right? Whether it's Downton Abbey or whatever, we see these characters and we feel really connected to them, but we don't actually know them. But then it got me thinking to sort of all the relationships in my life. And I was thinking that there are lots of people that I really like and I know certain aspects of, I guess, their life. But then I have a very small circle of people that I know really well. And I just love that. I love that shared history and the things that we've been through together, those experiential relationships that are just so much fun. Well, they're so gratifying. That's the thing. They're deeply gratifying. I feel like I want to say that again. They're deeply gratifying. And so I think that this article I was reading about parasocial relationships, they were saying that the mind is tricked into thinking it's got connection, but you don't actually get the benefits of connection. And I guess maybe this is why people feel anxious and disconnected, because we do have literally an epidemic of that, right? And I don't know. So I do feel really grateful that I've got wonderful friends. I feel very blessed. And I do feel very connected to other people as well that I know virtually. And I'm really lucky actually because some of the people that I really like virtually, I've actually met them. They're not celebs, they're just people, but I've met them in real life. And that's been really lovely. They were exactly as, as they appear. And funnily enough, I've actually met some celebs as well through a friend. And they've been really nice as well. But obviously I don't know them. I've seen them, on TV or whatever or online, but I don't know them. But having said that, I think I mentioned recently that I went to an Ali Abdal event, and that was actually really nice because I would say he was even nicer in real life, So that was really wonderful. And I met some really nice people there, and we're kind of keeping in touch. So I don't know. What is it? Is it that we have deep relationships with people that we've met in real life and people that we've traveled through, I don't know, I don't want to say time, because I think that depending on how intense the relationship is, you can almost get more out of a shorter period compared to a longer period of a relationship where you don't really maybe see the person that often or engage with them that much. Or is it that it's just... Because I feel that, and I'm almost saying this already, that it's the depth of the connection. And my intonation is such because I'm thinking of a person in particular who I've never met, but we have some really deep conversations online. And she's just really lovely. And so I don't know what I'm saying, really. I guess the thing is, what kind of relationships do we have? And maybe when we have these parasocial relationships, they're okay if we have close-knit, deep, meaningful relationships with others. So then it doesn't matter if we have those kind of acquaintances as well, people online. Whereas if you only rely on those parasocial relationships, I guess that's where the problem is. So I don't know, what kind of friends do you have? Do you have really good friends? Because at the end of the day, friends that are there sort of, in all phases of life, they're the ones that count, right? And by that, I mean through the good times and the bad times, not just through the good times, because anyone can be there just for the good times. So I think it's always good to have kind of to contemplate about this, right? And to always move towards relationships that are going to help you grow and are going to contribute something to your life, essentially. Really, no one person is perfect. Different friends have different facets that appeal to one. I don't know. I feel very blessed though, but I just thought it was so interesting just because I'd seen a clip of a Taylor Swift interview and then somebody from Friends. It was so interesting. And I'd read this article. I was kind of like, oh, isn't that funny? And then I saw some friends that I hadn't seen for ages the other day, and it was just so comfortable, even though I hadn't seen them for a long time. And so I just felt, and that was just really lovely. And I just felt that, it's just so nice, isn't it? When you have these grounded relationships and there's real depth to them. That's what I really like. I hope you have those kind of relationships. I wonder what sort of relationships you have. If you know sort of, or if, I don't know, how to deepen your relationship with friends, if you would like to do that. Of course, you can email me. It would be helpful, I guess, if I drop my email in the show notes because I haven't done that for a long time. But yeah, if you've got any questions about friends or friendship, let me know. I do love actually making friends. I love chatting with people. I love people. And I think the research shows that if we are curious and open-hearted, then, if we were all like that, the world would be an amazing place. So until the next episode, let's all create connection and not just change lives, but save lives.